The fight to replace late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is heating up in Washington. But today, at least, politics took a back seat to mourning as admirers lined up to pay their respects to the liberal icon. Cronkite News reporter Mythili Gubbi brings us the story from the Supreme Court.
Hundreds of people gathered first thing in the morning in front of the Supreme Court to pay their respects to the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. People brought flowers, signs, and memories.
She was so invested and so present with us in that moment. And like the delight in her face was just incredible.
Kristen Brandis was describing the look when Ginsburg officiated at her wedding to Bridget McGraw in January 2017.
She said, "Oh, this is such great news. I would be so happy to do this for you. It's a crazy time. If you can be to the court by 4 o'clock on the 19th.
Not everyone had a personal encounter, but many of the hundreds in line had a story about how Ginsburg affected them personally. Queen Creek resident Samuel Jordan said she inspired his change of career.
RBG is obviously one of the most iconic judges and justices in history. And I went back and I'm going to go study immigration law in the state of Arizona.
Jordan came to D.C. specifically to pay his respects. He joined others lined up, masked and socially distanced for the chance to walk past the steps where Ginsburg's casket was displayed. The day began with a private ceremony inside the court's Great Hall, attended by family and other justices. After that, her casket was brought to the top of the court steps. The mood outside the court was somber and respectful, and people seemed willing to wait for as long as it took. Kim Bates remembers Ginsburg's lifelong work for women's rights.
I was alive when Roe v. Wade was passed, and I was a teenager. And I think people don't understand that that was a key ruling in giving women the ability to control their lives.
But today, political differences were put aside.
I didn't agree with her on a lot of her opinions because I'm a conservative and she was a liberal, but I respected her and she fought a lot of good battles and stood up well for women.
But politics is never far away in Washington.
I think we're in a very precarious moment, and I hope that people are watching, because with her passing, the court, one of the institutions that we count on for fairness, is at risk.
Jordan thinks the Senate should wait to confirm the next justice.
It's the respectful thing to do when somebody of this nature dies. I think you give the time for the country to heal first and foremost, but also you have to, I think, take the proper and not make it a rush decision.
Lesko disagreed, saying she has no doubt Democrats would make the appointment if they were in power. Besides, she said, Trump said he will nominate a woman.
It's fantastic. We need a conservative woman in the Supreme Court. It's a fantastic pick. I'm glad President Trump said it. It's great.
Bridget and Kristen did not share that enthusiasm.
It's a grave loss, and the time in which it's happening couldn't be more challenging.
Viewings will continue till 10 p.m. tonight and tomorrow as well, before Justice Ginsburg is brought to lie in state on Friday. At the Supreme Court, Mythili Gubbi, Cronkite News.
Ginsburg will become the first woman to lie in state in the Capitol, and only the second woman ever honored there, after civil rights pioneer Rosa Parks. Ginsburg is scheduled to be buried next week in Arlington National Cemetery.